Today we are talking about the fourth type of sentence. So far, we have talked about simple sentences that have one idea that contain primarily a subject and verb. Yes, there are different variations, but at the base root of it, you are looking at one single idea. That's a simple sentence. The second type of sentence that we talked about were compound sentences. That would be two main ideas joined by a box. And what can go in the box? Comma and, semicolon, or semicolon, big word, comma. Again, that is compound. We talked recently, like today, about complex sentences. And complex sentences have one main idea and at least one needy idea. And we said that those dependent clauses will start with subordinating conjunctions, but we put triangles around the needy words. That's how we denoted that. Finally, we're going to combine the compound sentence and the complex sentence to have compound complex. How do you know it's compound complex? Well, just like a compound sentence, we have two main ideas that can stand by themselves. They are joined with a box, so the comma and, or the semicolon, or the semicolon big word comma, and at the beginning or at the end, or maybe somewhere in the middle, you're going to have at least one needy idea. So once again, we had simple sentences with one idea, compound sentences that have two main ideas joined with a box, a complex sentence that has one main idea, one needy idea, and then we joined it together for a compound complex with two main ideas and at least one needy idea. You're welcome. I know this is me using all the technology I have. So here is an example of an IXL that asks you to differentiate between simple, compound, complex, or compound, complex. I thought it would be a good idea if I talked you through my thought process, so metacognition. I'm going to talk you through my thinking through each of these IXLs. Not all of them, but some of them. In this sentence, it says, during last night's thunderstorm, a flurry of tiny hailstones danced across the roof of our house. There's a lot going on in that sentence. I don't know who wrote it. In this first part, it says during last night's thunderstorm, where there's no verb in that. It's just a phrase. So I'm going to forget that that exists. Let me look at the rest of the sentence. A flurry of tiny hailstones. That could be my subject. What did they do? They danced across the roof of our house. That's just fluffy stuff. So at the base of this, I have a flurry danced. That's it. I've got one idea. It's a simple sentence. And look, I did a great job. Let's look at this next one. The right hemisphere of the human brain typically controls muscle movement on the left side of the body. There are lots of words in this sentence, but at the root of it, I'm talking about the right hemisphere, so that's going to be my subject. And what does it do? It controls. And that's all I've got. Controls what? Muscle movement, that's a direct object. But at the root of this, again, there's no other verbs, so this has to be a simple sentence. Okay. And again, we're looking at a simple sentence. Russia has a variety of natural resources, including oil, natural gas, timber, iron ore, copper, and lead. Including oil, natural gas, timber, iron ore, copper, and lead. Including looks like a verb, but it's acting like an adjective. So that's a participle, and that's just describing natural resources. So Russia has, that's my only subject and verb, and that's it. Finally, we have something different. Leonardo da Vinci, who was a renowned painter and sculptor, was also an inventor and scientist. Cool. So in this one, I have Leonardo da Vinci. What does he do? He was. The verb is all the way over here at the end of the sentence. So what is this? Who was a renowned painter and sculptor? Well, who can be a needy word and a needy subject, and was is a needy verb. So in this case, I've got a main idea. Leonardo was an inventor and scientist, and I have a needy idea who was a renowned painter and sculptor. A main idea and a needy idea. I have a complex sentence. Okay. The maple leaf, which is Canada's national emblem, has been associated with the country since the 1700s. Same exact structure. Leaf has been associated. That's my subject and my verb. Buried in the middle of them is this tricky little clause that says which is Canada's national emblem, which can be a needy word and a needy subject. Is my verb. Main idea, Needy idea. It's complex. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to stop. The production of a single pound of honey requires nectar from approximately 2 million flowers. And this one, the production is going to be my subject. And what does the production do? It requires. That's my subject. That's my verb. There are no other verbs. It has to be a simple sentence. Okay, so in this, yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, let me do this one. Lorraine Hansberry wrote the widely acclaimed 1959 Broadway play A Raising the Sun, and her accomplishment opened the door for other African American playwrights. Now, I have something different. I've got two different ideas. I have Lorraine wrote, and I have accomplishment opened. That's two different ideas that could stand by themselves. What are they joined by? Comma, and that's a box. Because I have two main ideas and they're joined by a box, I'm looking at a compound sentence. All right. So, guys, when you're looking at these sentences, you're looking for several things. One, look for your subjects and verbs. Those are going to be your main ideas. Past that point, do you see any words that could make something less important than the rest of the sentence? Those are likely going to be your complex. When you see comma and, like this one right here, a comma and, that's going to denote a compound. Yep. When you see both, here we go. When you see both a needy word like who researches dialects of American English plus speaker was plus comma so plus he imitated, that's two main ideas joined by a box with a triangle for who. That's a compound complex. And that's going to be how you take care of this IXL. If you have any questions, please do let me know.